Can you hear everything which is said here is a live press conference, So again, just raise your hand if you want to ask the first question, please. Neil O'Riordan, please.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
Apart from the travel and short turnaround, what can you put down to this happening again, I guess, for a disappointing home result on the back of an encouraging away performance?
Yeah, I think it's probably a game that we deserve to win 3 or 4-1. You know, I think we've created a lot of chances on the day. You know, it's a game that we deserve to win, and we just didn't win. We conceded. Obviously, Mahmoudov has scored goals from outside. We've seen him do that, you know, so we should have closed him down better than we did. It's an unbelievable goal from his point of view. Right on 45 minutes, so it was a real killer blow for us. Right on half time, like, so changed the narrative. But we, you know, I think the attitude of the players was excellent. They kept going, created so many chances, just wouldn't go in for us. And in the end, Shane Duffy got that important equaliser, and we just couldn't get that winner.
And in the first half, you started very brightly, very good 10 minutes, a lot of variations in play, and then just the momentum seemed to drop. Can you put your finger on why that happened?
Well, Azerbaijan have had, you know, tight games against Serbia and Portugal, you know, so it's 2-1 against Serbia, 1-0 against Portugal. So a lot of their players are playing in the group stages. So I think it's a game we should have won. You know, we were disappointed with ourselves, no doubt about that. You know, you're right, we started the first 15 minutes really, really well. You know, we got right on top. They had a spell of possession, which is always, you know, likely, you know, but just that they didn't really create anything, to be honest. And then they did have one chance in the second half on the break. Gavin made a good save, but they didn't really create anything in the game. So it was just the shot from outside the box. We're beaten with again, and you know, we had so many chances, and just you know, we missed the target a lot, you know, which was disappointing. We missed the target, and you know, we've sort of paid the price for that.
Damien Spellman, please.
Stephen, on that front, for all the progressive football that you want your team to play, is it frustrating that you haven't relied on the likes of John Egan and Shane Duffy to get you the goals?
Well, I don't mind who scores them. You know, Shane showed, you know, should have scored more than we did. Shane showed a lot of character to go and still keep going. He was tired after the second game, 3 days, kept going and getting in there and scoring the header. And that's what Shane has. He has a lot of character, and he did that. And yeah, listen, we you know, we missed a lot of chances today, and there was a lot of good football in the match. You know, the team played well for a good portion of the match, and but we our finishing let us down really today. Overall, that was the key. You know. That was the disappointing part. I think if you concede a goal in the 45th minute, it's just a terrible time to concede. Changes the narrative. Azerbaijan can run down the clock. The goalkeeper went down. The players went down injured. The physio was taking an eternity to get on the pitch. It disrupts the rhythm of the game. But I think we still created a lot of chances and still played some good stuff. But we let ourselves down. You know, we couldn't finish the way that we should have.
When you picked a very young front line tonight, from what you've seen of those players at underage level, are you confident that the finishing is there? It's just a matter of experience, you know, composure maybe.
Well, you know, for the international team hasn't been prolific for a long time. You know, I think so. We are working harder to improve. You know, we are working harder to improve, and although Adam White didn't score tonight, obviously he did tremendously well as centre forward, and you know, he led the line brilliantly, and you know, linked play well, and certainly caused a lot of trouble for the defenders, and just obviously the critical chance that he missed from point blank was was unfortunate. You know, he is pretty decent in them situations normally, but he and if he hadn't touched it, there was 3 players waiting to knock it in. But I think he overall his performance was really good. You know, I thought he was excellent actually, and but you know, as I said, we didn't capitalise on a lot of our good build-up play in the manner that we should have.
Ed Leahy, please.
Thank you. Stephen, I suppose just looking at the second half, it essentially became a game of attackers against defenders. You knew they were going to be compact when they came here, so when they went ahead, they were obviously going to be even more compact. And do you feel like your team is just, or your squad is just lacking somebody who could have unlocked that, you know, that defence and the blanket defence in the second half, a Wes Houlihan or a Jack Byrne, one of these type players? Is that what's missing in the squad for these situations?
Listen, you know, sometimes if they do, you know, if they play 8 or 9 players behind the ball, or not behind the ball, actually camped in the half in that situation like that, camped outside the box, you know, there is limited space to go through the middle or to any intricate passing. It's difficult. Sometimes you have to go wide, and you know, and that's why we put a lot more crossing than we normally would. But that is your best option, and you know, we create chances from that. We, as I said, we missed a lot of chances. It's subjective. We had a Wes Houlihan, you know, as you say, Jack Byrne has been just come back off a back operation, but just getting back playing. So it's you know, so you know, that's subjective, like, you know, in regarding that. We do have creative players in the team, and you know, we just and we created chances. We did create chances. We just didn't take them, you know. So that was the disappointing part.
I suppose just to follow up with that, we saw in the first half a tame enough shot from Aaron Conley that actually hit the target, was fumbled by the goalkeeper. So was it disappointed that, you know, even just some long range shooting in the second half could have just tested the keeper? Maybe there would have been some spillages or, you know, second balls to clean up with.
Okay. Maybe so. Maybe a point there. I think, yeah, we listed off. We just, the coaching staff were discussing, went through all the individual chances. You know, we listed in double figures, really, probably the chances that we had, and you know, we missed the target far too often. So that was, you know, inaccurate to say the least. So, well, you know, I think just if we don't concede that goal right on the 45th minute, we're just in a good position going into the second half, shooting into that end and the momentum, and the way we got on top in the second half, we just shot ourselves in the foot by conceding that goal. So we're disappointed.
Okay, fair enough. Cheers.
Philip Quinn, please.
Stephen, we've got 1 point out of 12 in the World Cup. If we don't beat Serbia on Tuesday, we're out. You haven't had a competitive win yet. How do you think you're doing as Irish manager?
Well, you know, that's you know, we're building a good team at the moment. I think results overall, you know, haven't been certainly what I would have wanted, but I think you know, we're building a very good team. We've seen that in Portugal the other night. We had a standing performance in Portugal. 89th minute, we you know, we're 1-0 up and we ended up losing in injury time. So it was disappointing. Today we should have won. We dominated a lot of the game. You know, it was a match that we absolutely dominated. So we're kicking ourselves that we didn't win. So it's not for me to say how I'm doing, you know. But that's I think we're building a team here that can be very, very. Very exciting over a period of time. We've seen that on Wednesday night, and today we've seen a lot of good football in that game today, and we just didn't get the goals that we deserved.
Okay, Gavin Cooney, please. Only got time for a couple more questions. So Gavin Cooney and then Gavin, and then we'll have to end it there.
Hi Stephen, there was a smattering of boos among the crowd at full time, so what would your message be to anyone who's looking at 1 point from 12 and questioning where this is going and losing faith in it?
Yeah, I think the crowd were brilliant. You know, they got behind the team. They understood. You know, I didn't take it as they were booing the team or booing. You know, I didn't take it as that. I think they just, you know, were disappointed at the end. That we couldn't get that winner. I think they're seeing a team that gave everything in the match. I think they played a lot of good football. I think they created a lot of good chances. I think that should have closed down McMadoon better than we did for the goal. He scored outside the box, but also a team that created a high number of chances today with a lot of good play, and couldn't get the goal that we deserved against a blanket defence in the second half. That was tough to break down. So that's it really at the moment.
Gavin Comiskey, please.
Stephen, Aaron Connolly's time, Troy Parrott was gone on the hour mark. Did you get your selections and formation wrong tonight?
Well, if you create a number of chances that we did, you know, you can't sort of blame it on the formation. You know, I think so. I don't. You know, I think Troy. You know, did okay in the game. You know, Ireland obviously could get to the levels he played the other night, but Troy is playing in that position for his club at the moment in a 3-4-3, right of front three. So he, you know, he nearly scored before I took him off. Actually, he had a good effort at goal. He worked hard, linked the play, did okay. So I wouldn't be critical of any of the players really. I think you know, we had a lot of experience in the team as well, and we had a good, you know, obviously Cullen, Lumby, the front five are emerging players. You're right, they're not seasoned pros, they're emerging players. So but there is room for improvement, there's no doubt. But that's you know, that's the way it is.
Okay, guys. Okay, one more, Paul.
Yeah, Stephen, do you accept that you're going to need another campaign now to qualify for a major tournament?
Well, I think even before today, you know, I think only one qualifies from the group. You know, Portugal and Serbia accumulated a lot of points, so even before today, it was going to be difficult to qualify for the World Cup. I think we acknowledged that. We would have had to probably see it out against Portugal the other day to put ourselves right back in contention for that. But I think so certainly you know, what I've got to do now is actually pick the team up for the game against Serbia, which is an important game. Obviously they had a big win tonight, so we have to dust ourselves down, and third game in 6 days and get ourselves right and put in a strong performance against a very good Serbian team. So we've got to make sure we're right for that game on Tuesday. That's the main objective now at the moment.
And are you ready for the battle to turn this around, Stephen?
Well,
are you still full of energy or do you accept that maybe it's not working for you?
No, certainly do not accept that. No, absolutely not. You know, we were absolutely exceptional against Portugal, as we were again. They played very well in the previous game against Hungary. The previous game we scored 4 goals. The previous game against Qatar we played well, and then the previous game we obviously had a poor game against Luxembourg. The previous game against Serbia been excellent. So a lot of the recent performances have been very, very good, but we've got to turn our performances into results, and that's a lot of performances have shown played an awful lot of good football. If I mention any them recent games, Serbia, Hungary, obviously getting forward against Andorra, but the other night against Portugal, And then today, where we played a lot of good football today and created a lot of chances, and if we win 2-1, we're having a different conversation. So we're kicking ourselves that we haven't won that game.